We are at Jaffa Road in Jerusalem. It's August 4th, and we are at one of the stations, the nearest station to Jaffa Gate, to the old city. It's called the City Hall station of the light rail, and you saw the light rail, and we are now heading to Mount Zion through Jaffa Gate. It is quite a hot day today. It's going to be around 100 degrees Fahrenheit, almost 40 degrees Celsius. I'm crazy. Why I'm doing it? Well, I'm doing it because I must do that. I feel it in my bones. And I don't know why, but I feel that the next lockdown in Israel, the fourth one, will be soon. Then most of the churches will be closed. Most of the places will be closed. I won't be able to travel so far. I live in Tel Aviv. Let's use that beautiful hot day to visit the old city. In front of you can see the sun and the walls of the city. Let me just cross it safely. Jaffa Road, because it actually leads to Jaffa, city of Jaffa, which is Tel Aviv today, and that's the reason why Jaffa Gate that we are heading to calls Jaffa Gate. If we will look to the left, we can see the northern part of the wall, and far away, that's Mount of Olives. If we will continue straight ahead, we will reach Damascus Gate. Before that, we will see. I mean, it's something like 200 meters, 600 feet. The new gate. Yes, we can cross. That noise that you heard, the beep 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 beep, it's for blind people. And one of the most famous pictures the last few years is with the sign, "I love Jerusalem." And if you ask me what is JL, shortcut of Jerusalem, I think it saved the money. Now that's the corner of the northern wall with the western wall of the city, not of the temple. It's not where the Jews are praying. And in that tour, I will give you some tips. What to drink, where to use the toilets. Is it for free? The wall that you see in front of you is from the 16th century, but you can see that beneath it there are older walls, because that city has been destroyed so many times. And that's the story of Israel, in a way. Israel was a bridge. It's still a bridge, but at that time it was very important, a bridge between Africa, Asia, and Europe. Then if you wanted to trade, if you wanted to conquer the world, you had to start with Israel, and then the Middle East, and then the rest of the ancient world. Then Israel's place was crucial. That's why so many conquer Israel, and by doing it, they destroy the old evidence and build something new above it. If we're talking about that was the city hall, and that area used to be part of Israel until 1967. According to United Nations, that part that you see in front of you was supposed to be owned by United Nations itself. I mean, the whole city. But at 1948, the Arab countries invaded into Israel. The idea was to delete Israel from the map. But actually what's happened is that the little future Palestine for the map, then the one who occupied Palestine were the Jordanians and the Egyptians. And the old city, which was supposed to be a part of United Nations, became to be part of Jordan until 1967. Then that was the border between Jordan here and Israel there. That is the west part of the city. If you like shopping malls, there's a nice shopping mall in front of you. It's actually the lower part. But it's a shopping mall, with all the brands. If you like Israeli brands, you can find it there as well. Then the wall was built by Suleiman the Magnificent. He actually used part of the wall that he found here and stones from different places. It's easier to use the same stone again instead of curving new or preparing new stones. Beautiful, isn't it? I was looking for one stone and I found it. Let me see if you can see it. There it is. That is, for example, a stone that I don't know if they use it or they used it again as well, but we are talking about the Romans who conquered Jerusalem, the 10th league of the Romans. Then here it is, you can see the 10, the axe. Now I can believe that they use so many different kinds of stones from different kind of period, and they have a lot of towers to protect Jerusalem. And one of the gates was Jaffa Gate, and we are heading to it. It's that one. But before that, to the right, let me use a different lens. If it will work, it works. You can see David Citadel, which is actually Tower of David, which is actually citadel of King Herod. And to the right, that's where we're heading. It's Mount Zion. Mount Zion, you can actually find the tomb of King David. You can visit the room of the Last Supper, and the church that you're actually looking at with the pyramid top is, and the tower to the right of it, is the Dormition Church. Dormition Church is the place that Mary fell asleep / died. It all depends if you're Catholic, Greek Orthodox, and Protestant. Different ways to see it. Let's move to that lens because you can see more of the city. And look at the birds. Nesting, resting. Maybe resting. From here you can see that the gate, the entrance to the gate is not straight ahead. You cannot go straight into the city. And about that, well, think about an enemy. If an enemy will try to enter to the city, it will be easier for him to go straight into the city. But no, the one who built it, Suleiman the Magnificent, knew to deal with it. Then going straight and then to the left. Why to the left, not to the right? Mainly because so many people in the world are right-handed. And it will be difficult for them to use the rival, like a left hand. I'm a left-handed guy, then I can do that. Now let's enter to the city. You can see mezuzah. The mezuzah is the Jewish symbol to a Jewish place. When you are entering to the house, according to God, you have to bless it, and in it there is a scroll. There's a scroll with a prayer. And usually what the Jews are doing when they're entering, they're touching it and kissing. Immediately to the left, you can see the entrance to the toilet, and it's open between 7 to 9 p.m. all the way straight up to the right, and it costs nothing. It's entrance fee, and the rampant walk, part of it starts there as well. You can buy the tickets at tourist information, which is closed because there are no tourists now. And this is the gate itself from the inner part of the city. About Jaffa Gate, I did have so many videos that I'm not actually, I can actually talk about the Jaffa Gate for like 20 minutes. There's so many things to see. And let's look at the map of Jerusalem. We are at Jaffa Gate. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to go to Mount Zion, which is outside the gate. We'll talk about it later on. And we will enter through the Armenian Patriarch Street. You can see the Armenian Quarter here. And then we will go out to Jaffa Gate, to Mount Zion via Jaffa Gate. But at the city, you can see 4 quarters. The Christian quarter is actually now to your left side, and the Muslim quarter, which is the biggest one, we are not going to visit it in that tour, but we're going to be not so far away from the Jewish quarter as well. And let's continue it out. The Latin Patriarch is right there at street by the same name. The Latin Patriarch. If you want to visit their beautiful church, you can actually do that as well. And I'll try to hide from the sun. You can see part of the fortress that originally built by King Herod. That is the highest place of the city, and from there you could control the city itself. Just look how beautiful are the painting on the wall. It used to lead to a nice cafe. I'm sure that it's not really open now, and a lovely hotel. That place belongs to the Greek Orthodox Church. And we saw the Latin Patriarch, now Greek Orthodox. And if we're talking about another Patriarch, then this is the Greek Catholic one. Yes. Greek Orthodox that accepted the Pope in the 19th century, and that is one of the most beautiful churches. For the last year, we couldn't enter into it because of COVID-19. And now the situation is getting worse. Again. If we will continue straight ahead, we will reach the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the place that Jesus was crucified, died, and buried, and of course resurrect. If we will continue straight, we will reach the Western Wall, which some of you call it by mistake the Wailing Wall, and the Temple Mount, Haram el-Sharif. This is David Street. As you can see, it's quite closed now because of no tourists and because it's very early. I think it's 8 a.m. From here you can see beautifully one of the towers of King Herod fortress. The lower part is from the Crusader time. That part, the middle part, is from King Herod time. And the lower part, the upper part, is from the Muslim time. Remember, everyone that conquered Jerusalem used it as their fortress. A little bit noisy because there's a road here. You cannot enter with a car unless you do have a permit. If you live here, or taxis, or police cars, buses, through the Maronite convent, you can reach to a beautiful site, the non-touristic site, and of course to the Maronite monastery, which is a beautiful monastery. And Christ Church is an English Protestant church. Sadly, it's closed now, but they have a very nice guest house. I'm sure that it's open, and one of the best places to sit and rest, which is part of the church. And this is the coffee place. Excellent service with a nice smile. Quite tasty, I must say. And you can actually go and sit there at the balcony, at the garden, next to the church itself, which some of you believe that it was built by the British to convert the Jews, that it looked more like a synagogue than British church. And another thing that it's important to know is that today the Messianic Jews are using it. Emmanuel Church, Christ Church. We are going through the Patra road, and I'm warning you, it's a road, and you see how narrow it is. But please be careful. To our left and to our right soon, you will see the Armenian quarter. Certainly it's difficult to enter to the Armenian quarter, mainly because they are a small community that want to say, all right, we don't need a tourist here. I think the people of Barcelona and the people of Amsterdam will understand it better than us. Few of the residents are survivors from the Armenian Holocaust, 1915, by the Turkish of today, the Ottomans. It will be a little bit noisy now. Three Jews that are heading, as I believe, to the Western Mall, because you can reach the Western Mall through the Jewish quarter, and they will turn left. And that's what they did. They turned left through St. James Street. And before we will continue, let's talk about I Remember and Demand. We talked about the Holocaust of the Armenian, then here it is. You can see one of the symbol of the Holocaust Museum at Yerevan, the beautiful city of, beautiful capital of Armenia. And the Don't Forget Me flower. Then, if you don't know about the Armenian genocide, go into the internet and study about it. Let that big bus go. But you can see that we are at Armenian Orthodox Patria Road, and I'm waiting to the car to go because this part is a little bit dangerous. There's no sidewalk. Gosh, it's hot and it's already 8 o'clock in the morning. Until we will reach the most beautiful church, although I cannot go into it, but we can reach it. Let me tell you that in the description you will find more information about Jerusalem and information about how to contact me. Facebook, Instagram. That's the entrance, the main entrance to the Armenian quarter. To the right, you can see the seminar of them, and the Hachkar, which kind of a memorial symbols. You can see the big stones. Most of them are from Armenia itself, with a special and beautiful cross of Armenia. And let's see if we can actually enter to the facade of the Armenian Church of James. Let me ask them if I can do that. אני נכנס רק לצלם, תודה. Yeah, he gave me permission to do that. The entrance to the quarter is there, but we will turn into St. James Church. It's a 12th century church, amazing church. You can see the head skull. It can be the head of St. James. There is double James here. The first one is the brother of Jesus, the first patriarch of Jerusalem, which is buried here as well, and St. James, the disciple. For Ruby and for my Armenian people, I'm actually touching the Hachkar and praying for you. Every day at 3 o'clock, the student of the seminar will enter to that church and they will chant for half an hour. And it's such an amazing thing to see, actually to hear. And this is the only option for you to enter the church, or to enter the Armenian chapel. But because of coronavirus, sadly cannot go in anymore. Such an amazing church. You can see the beautiful blue tiles, which is Armenian, but from Israel. And when I've been in Armenia, I didn't know that it's not an Armenian costume. It actually started here. And look at the beautiful cross of Armenia with the flowers at the end of it, and the log. Can you see the log there? Until 1831, the Christians couldn't use the bells. Then in that case, they used to knock on the wood. Then let's go out. So now, the chanting at 3 o'clock, is it already on or
No, it's closed.
It's closed because, okay, thank you very much. Again, it's closed because of Corona. You can see through Hasidus, Jews, as I believe heading to the Western Wall, or just came from the tomb of King David. It looks like they did it. They prayed there. Then let's continue. Remember, we've been at the entrance of James Street, Yaakov in Hebrew, and we're heading to Mount Zion. For that, I want to show you some maps that you might find glued to the walls here, and someone, I think, might be the Turkish are turning it off. You can see a little bit of information about the Armenian genocide. But again, today with the internet, you can find the information through there. In this part, there is a sidewalk. They promise to build, they're building the museum. There is a wonderful Armenian museum in the Armenian Quarter, but it's closed for many years because of the lousy situation. They are renovating it, and I hope that one day we will be able to enter to the museum. Let's move to the shaded bar. It's really hot and I'm looking for shade. A new parking lot was built by the Armenian here, and that one day will be the entrance to the museum. The door is open, but because it's closed, it will be nice and won't open it. Although my instinct says, yes, do that, do that. Robbie, to go into the Armenian quarter, I need you. Then please come from Australia and let's do that together. You can see the walls. This is the western wall. And you can see the towers from the inner part of the walls. You can see another one here in front of you. And you're looking at the southern wall of the city. Sadly, Mount Zion, part of the old city, but the Ottomans didn't build the wall around it. They actually ended the wall here. Then we will have to go out from Zion Gate. And a lot of you ask me about Zion. Is there a connection to Zionist? And what's the meaning of the word Zion? The word Zion is Jerusalem, one of the names of the city. And yes, there is a connection between Zionist and Zion. Zionists were the Jews who at the 19th century said enough is enough, the Jews are suffering in Europe and they must go back to Israel. In Israel they had a lot of Jews at that time, but they lived like in the ancient order, ancient way, which is donation from the Jews from Europe and America. They actually, most of the time they studied, they were very poor, and the Zionists said, we are going back to flourish that place, to build it, to be independent. To create our own work. That part of the road is a little bit dangerous as well, and we will do that quickly. In front of you, I don't know if you can see it because of the sun, far away, it's, let me change the lens, Mount Zion. What I can see from there is the Jewish cemetery, the white area. The Jewish cemetery is from the time of King David until now. And Zion Gate is in front of you. It's one of the exits of the city to the cars as well. Then be careful. For example, that car. You can see here another mezuzah. Ooh! Some of my friends left to watch the cars going out to see what will happen to them. Some of them are good drivers, some of them are less. He is an amazing driver. But before we go out, I want to show you one of the exits of the Ramparts Walk. Remember when it starts? Then we're leaving the old city, entering to the old city, but without the wall. And this is Mount Zion. Let me show you the gate, but before that, look at the olive tree and the olive fruit on it. Zion Gate. You can see a lot of bullet holes, mainly because that was the border between Israel and Jordan until 1967. Remember the all right, he is not a good driver, totally not. But we are not going to see what actually will happen to him. And Mount Zion, you can see so many things, you can visit so many things. But before we will talk about it, I want you to understand that it was at the 4th century one huge church. Today it's like small places, Jewish, many Jewish and Christians. Beautiful Catholic church. There's a car here, then let me, yeah, he went out of the city, alive, out of the gate. I don't know what he's heading to, but I don't know what's happening here as well. Looks like something happened here, and we are blocked until we will see what's happening. You can see that this is a new church, but and that is the house of Mary. Yeah, if she did it, we can do it too. But you will see soon the name Agia Zion. All right, not easy, unfit, but I did it. Agia Zion is the church that used to be here in the 4th century, and this is the Domitian church. That is the house of Mary, according to tradition. And again, don't hate me for that, because everyone sees Mary in different ways. Mary's house was here, not in Ephesus, and she died here / fell asleep. Some of you believe that she never died, some of you believe that she died. And they are now started to renovate that place, then it will be closed for a few years. Gladly, I entered to that place a few weeks before they closed it. Another place that you can visit here is the room of the Last Supper. For that you have to climb to the second floor. You know what, let's do that. They're gonna change the water pipes. Then I was planning to drink here. We're climbing to the second floor, to the roof of an ancient house, and that used to be the room of the Last Supper. Say careful. I'm not going to talk a lot about the room of the Last Supper, mainly because you can find videos of it, but I wanted you to understand how should you reach it. It's open until 6 p.m. It's a beautiful place. It used to be the room of the Last Supper. Beneath us is the tomb of King David. The Muslims turned it into a mosque as well. Jesus is important for the Muslims. And yeah, here's David. Always, talking to myself. מדבר לעצמי. תגיד לי, עוד יש מים? כתוב שסוגרים את זה. Okay, yeah, there's water. Yeah, I can drink. Yesterday. Of course, it's a Tuesday, but I'm not working from March 2020 then. Who knows which day, what day is today. Tomb of King David is at the bottom of the ground floor of the room of the Last Supper. Let me see if it's open again about King David. They have different videos that you can actually watch. The idea of today is to show you how to reach and what to do. the tomb of King David, right in front of you. The entrance is for men and women, but different departments. Women is from there, men is from here, then I'm gonna be quiet. They're cleaning now the place. Then, don't want to disturb that man. You can see the tomb. You know what? That entrance from there. You can see the tomb here. This is the men department. And the women department is there. You can see most of the tomb. As you already know, I do videos about it. You don't need me for that. That is not the aim of that video. The last place that I want you to see, I will talk about when we reach it, but if you want to find more places here, then the high priest house is here. The tomb of Oscar Schindler, for Schindler's List, is here as well. Then there are more to see at Mount Zion. I want to thank everyone who support me now, because really cannot work. There are no tourists. And they asked me, you asked me, then I did it. I gave a link at the description for buy me coffee, and through there you can support me a little bit if you can, only if you can, and you can ask me, for example, to light candles, and today I'm going to do that at the tomb of Mary and the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, and some people asked me to put some notes at the Western Wall. I will do that as well today. Then the link is in the description. And the place that I wanted you to see, I know that you're gonna laugh at me now, is the toilet. There's another toilet here, and the important thing to understand is that there is cold water here. You can refill your bottles, you can drink, because it's actually pure water. Then see you in my next video. Bye bye.